My wife stays in London. She was the one that brought me here as a dependent. So all of a sudden, she came here and turned to another thing. Before you know it, she ejected me, pushed me out of the house.
As an African woman that lived in abroad before your husband, you know that any slight conversation, the man will end up on the street. You cannot control your feelings. Please, leave him in Africa. Don't bring him in abroad and later end up on the street. This is the case of our brother from Nigeria that the wife brought over to UK. Now he is on the street homeless. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now let's watch the video.
My wife stays in London. She was the one that brought me here as a dependent. So all of a sudden, she came here and turned to another thing. Before you know it, she ejected me, pushed me out of the house. In fact, I got a contact from Lagos, from my brother. I told him what was going on. He said I shouldn't worry. He's going to give me a contact of one of my brothers here in Leicester. So I got the contact, called him. Then he was one that brought me down to this place and paid one-room apartment for me for 1 month on the 8th of last month. So the place expired on the 8th of this month. If I had known that I found myself in this condition, I would not be here. I will manage myself back in Nigeria.
We visited friends.
If I go back to Nigeria, where am I going to stay? Everything was disposed of before I started coming down to this place. The money I realized in Nigeria, I sent it to her. She said she sent the money to her, which I did. So I'm empty in Nigeria. No place to enter. No, I have nothing in Nigeria. So I'm completely stranded.
We reached out to homeless charities, but unfortunately, Francis' visa status does not make him entitled to any benefits or free accommodation. Francis is calling on Africans and Nigerians in the UK to come to his aid.
This is unbelievable. Sometimes in a Western country where women have a lot of powers, I think that those powers should be checkmated, although if it shouldn't. But the right thing to do right now is, please, as a man you are an African man. You lived in Africa and you know the culture structure of Africans. Most of the times, 90% of family responsibility is being carried out by men. And that has been how you have been living with your wife for many years. You as a man is the one paying all the bills. All of a sudden, you just bring out the mirage of locating to abroad with your wife. And in abroad, anything can happen. You might be unfortunate, you cannot get a job, and you end up being at home. Maybe your wife will be privileged, she's the one that got a job. And let me tell you the truth. Because she's the one not paying bills at home, back home in Africa, honestly, some women will find it difficult to pick up that tax. I don't mean all. I mean some women. That is why women have the mindset. My money is my money. Your money is our money, which is a very bad mindset as a woman to have. You should be our money. Because when he was bringing, it is our money. Now you are in charge. God placed you in a position that you are privileged to bring. It should be also our money. Marriage is one and one person come together to become one, not to become two. So I don't know where the topic of my money and our money comes from. So when you find yourself in a situation as a man you are, that woman will never pick up that responsibility without remembering that the situation you find yourself is not your fault. Because when you migrated to a new country that is not your home country, honestly, it comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with a lot of hustle. So some people are not fortunate enough to have the earlier smooth landing, and they end up being jobless. So please, as a woman you are, you know that you cannot. You see this responsibility, I cannot even take it up for one day. Don't go to abroad with your husband. Even a man, I'm also advising you men. If you know that your wife have not picked up the responsibility of providing for you people back home in Africa and there was peace in the house, don't take her there. If you know that meaning maybe a few times she had provided back home in Africa, she used to say one or two, she used to talk to you in certain manners that are not good, please leave her back home. Because you will find yourself in the streets. There are kind of creatures women are. I'm a woman and I know what I'm saying. Some women are just one narrow-minded thinking they have, and when they think about it, to them it's good, it's nice, it's a perfect idea. They start following in one way. They cannot come back, they cannot rethink. Maybe they can think about it later, and then things have saw it, and that time she might have been seeing the consequences of her actions. But if he's a man, men do rethink. And that is why men don't act like a woman. So please, I know some of you people are not reasonable. Whenever Japa syndrome comes into your body, some of you be thinking, oh, let me Japa. Apparently, your wife is a nurse. You start thinking about the health benefits you will use her to gain. Oh, she's a nurse. And when she landed to that so dream country, she's gonna start working and she will start getting money. And whereas when you are back home in Africa, she hardly pay bill of 1 naira or 1 cent. Mr. Man, you are dreaming. You are in a mirage. You are in a fantasy. Don't allow your efforts to be wasted. Don't allow that hustle, your hustle back home in Africa, to be vain. Because I knew that some of you men are the one that fostered this journey. The whole money that was being spent in it, from 80 to 90% of those money are being spent by the men. Let's tell ourselves the truth. But they see those women as the tools they will use to work in abroad because they were more privileged than you. And you, as a man, maybe you are not even educated, let alone having a nursing degree. So please, don't you think that she will support you. Honestly, where she is going is a place where she will be in charge 10 times too, more than when she was in Africa. Let me tell some of you men how the system works in Brazil. The system works in a way that if a man don't want to be with you, honestly, she is going to send you on the streets. The system works that if a woman don't want to be with you, honestly, she will be comfortable living her life. We know the system back home in Africa where there is nothing like child support, there is no support from the government, and this makes some women to rethink whenever they want to leave their husband, wife, or house. Because they're thinking, who is going to pay my bills? Who's going to take my responsibility? And thereby they stay. Other states are the reason why some women stay back. But in our abroad, the government are there to support them. The government are there to give them child benefit. Some benefits more than you man. And that's why a lot of men find themselves on the streets whenever things go wrong in their families. Please, don't bring your wife to abroad, knowing fully well the kind of person she is. Before people act the way they act, there has been red flags. It's just that some of you that has been with them for a long time don't see all those red flags. Maybe you saw it and you overlook it. Don't overlook any red flags you see in Africa when you are with your wife, or else you will see yourself on the street. Yeah, that was the one that happened in UK. A woman that has problem with her husband. The next thing she did was to go and report her husband to the law enforcement agency. And when they come, they start dragging the man. Because she was the student, the husband is dependent. So she feel that, because she's the one that her husband is dependent on, she can send her husband back home to Nigeria so easily. So when the man was in the process, if he will stay back home or he will send to Nigeria or stay back in UK, the man has no option than to go and tell the immigration that her certificate that she used to get admission there was faked. You know what? These two couples end up sending themselves, both of them, back home. And that is when their eyes were clear that the reason why they come to UK is not to have issue. The reason was to better their life back home. Now, this woman is planning to locate another country, and the woman is there begging her, him, telling him that, oh, please, I want to follow you. I want to follow you. And the man said, oh, anyway, Mr. Man, you are still a nice man because there is no way a woman will do such a thing to me and I will still be getting married to you. Since you are not reasonable enough to control your emotions, to go and report me to the law enforcement. So there are men out there. Be very careful when bringing your wife to Europe. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. See you guys on my next video. Bye.